You've been approaching this the wrong way your entire life. Every time you wait to genuinely feel respect before expressing it, you hand over your influence, and someone else uses it to their advantage. Right now, someone in your world is benefiting from your hesitation, while you're still wondering why your voice doesn't carry weight. The difference isn't talent or charm. It's that they understand one truth you've overlooked. Respect is an emotion you must learn to project, even if it's not authentic. The highest achievers around you aren't necessarily more sincere, they're more tactical. They offer respect when it serves a purpose, and they use your hunger for approval to guide your actions. Your power depends on the emotions you can control and project. That's the paradox. Respect works better when given intentionally, not emotionally. Most people misunderstand this. They wait to feel it before they show it, or they offer it only when they think it's deserved. That makes them predictable and easy to manipulate. Machiavelli would call this a failure in strategy. The paradox of manufactured respect is that it often brings more genuine cooperation than heartfelt admiration ever could. When you deliberately honor someone's role or ideas, even if you don't agree, you activate psychological triggers that make them open to your input. They feel heard, seen, and valued, and those feelings build a bridge toward reciprocity, meaning they start aligning with you even if they don't know why. Think about how this plays out in real life. An employee who outwardly respects a boss's opinion, even while privately doubting it, positions themselves to guide decisions over time. A skilled negotiator who acknowledges the other side's limitations opens doors that aggressive posturing can't. A savvy leader who publicly respects opposing views weakens resistance and gains room to maneuver. This isn't about being fake, it's about using respect with purpose. It's a currency. Its worth isn't in how much you feel it, it's in what it lets you achieve. If you only give that currency to those you already admire, you severely limit your leverage. Machiavelli believed that strategy means separating internal judgment from outward behavior. A ruler should not keep faith when doing so works against his interest, he wrote. In the realm of respect, that means extending honor to those who can help you, regardless of whether they've earned your admiration. It's a tactical move, not an emotional one, and it works because it taps into a powerful psychological trigger. That trigger is called reciprocity. When you offer respect, others often feel an urge to return the gesture through cooperation, shared knowledge, or favorable decisions. That instinctual give and take creates influence far more effectively than pressure or argument ever could. But fake respect only works if it's done with skill. If people sense manipulation or flattery, they pull back. You need to understand what each person values most. Then tailor your approach so your respect feels real, even if it's fully strategic. The framework for doing this well is called strategic respect. It's not about compliments or fake niceties. It's about learning what each personality type needs to feel respected, and giving them that in a way that also serves your goals. One of the most powerful types is intellectual respect. That means acknowledging someone's knowledge, insight, or expertise. It works best on those who see their intellect as their identity. You show this by asking good questions, referencing their past work, or seeking their opinion on complex matters. The secret is precision. Vague compliments like "you're really smart" sound hollow, but specific ones, like "your analysis last quarter opened my eyes to market dynamics I hadn't seen," create genuine emotional leverage. The person feels truly appreciated and is far more likely to help you later. This type of strategic respect is extremely effective in competitive settings where people crave acknowledgement. A coworker who consistently highlights others' strengths, builds alliances, and gains insights that aggressive peers miss entirely. Another powerful type is positional respect, acknowledging someone's title, duties, or place in a hierarchy. Many people attach deep personal meaning to their role within an organization. When you show deference to that structure without diminishing your own stance, you fulfill their need for recognition. That act alone creates room for influence. To be influential, positional respect must be carefully calibrated. Show too little, and you risk coming off as disrespectful, sparking resistance. Show too much, and you may appear submissive or manipulative. The ideal strategy is to recognize someone's authority within their domain while subtly asserting your own expertise in complementary areas. This balance creates mutual respect, laying the groundwork for collaboration rather than rivalry. Take, for example, interactions with difficult superiors. Employees who demand respect through direct confrontation often ignite power struggles that harm everyone. In contrast, those who respect their boss's decision-making role while offering valuable insights gain influence by aligning, not clashing. The third form is personal respect, acknowledging someone's values, moral character, or life story. This type of fake respect taps into a deep human need to feel seen for who we are beyond what we do. When you appear to admire someone's integrity, work ethic, or personal journey, you generate emotional bonds that go beyond transactional interactions. But this is the most delicate type of strategic respect, as it navigates highly personal territory. People can quickly sense insincerity. The key is to identify real, admirable traits, then highlight those selectively. You're not inventing praise. You're choosing to spotlight the aspects that support cooperation, while letting less useful details fade into the background. Strategic respect isn't just about who you direct it toward or how. It's also about when. Machiavelli often stressed the importance of timing in all things. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, he wrote, "It is safer to be feared than loved, but respect plays by different rules. It's most powerful when it's least expected, during conflict or disagreement, when hostility seems inevitable. The person who shows respect for opposing views immediately shifts the dynamic. They lower defenses, change the emotional climate, and come across as composed and thoughtful. That image sticks and earns them influence in future discussions. Negotiations offer a clear example. Many people enter either combative or overly agreeable and stay locked into that mode. The more effective strategy starts with genuine and seeming respect for the other side's position, using that as a tool to uncover real needs and constraints. Then, from a respectful foundation, you introduce your own terms. This progression makes firmness look fair, not confrontational. Similarly, crisis moments are golden windows for fake respect. When people feel stressed or uncertain, validation becomes priceless. A well-timed show of respect in hard times can build loyalty that lasts far beyond the moment. It brands you as a steady, supportive presence. The key lesson about timing is this: fake respect delivers the highest return when people crave it most. During smooth periods, additional respect may go unnoticed. But in rough times, when egos are bruised or relationships strained, respect becomes a deeply felt gift. The person who knows when to give it seems like a source of stability and wisdom. That's why some people gain influence amid chaos. They see emotional vulnerability not as danger, but as opportunity. While others withdraw or go on the attack, strategic minds offer respect at precisely the moment it has the most emotional weight. Using fake respect as a tool of influence naturally raises ethical concerns. Machiavelli addressed this dilemma by favoring results over ideals. But in today's world, the calculus is more complex. Strategic respect must consider both its power and its potential for misuse. The first limit is about doing no harm. This tool becomes dangerous when used to empower destructive individuals or to enable abuse. The technique is neutral, but the context determines its morality. Faking respect to help a toxic person win trust, for instance, is a clear ethical breach that cannot be ignored by a conscious strategist. The second boundary involves mutual benefit. The most sustainable use of fake respect benefits both parties, even if one person's motives are more calculated. When your strategic respect also affirms someone's dignity or brings real emotional comfort, it becomes a form of ethical influence. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about doing so in ways that reinforce social cohesion, build trust, and leave others better off, not used up. When used to reach agreements that genuinely serve both sides, strategic respect becomes a self-reinforcing tool, and negotiation framed with respect can result in outcomes that benefit everyone involved. In the workplace, fake respect that diffuses tension and drives productivity improves the entire team's performance. This idea, the principle of reciprocal benefit, shows that fake respect is most powerful when it supports others' real goals alongside your own. Even when your main driver is self-interest, the method becomes more ethical and more sustainable when it leads to mutual success rather than mere manipulation or exploitation. The third ethical line concerns authenticity. Although the emotion of respect may be intentionally performed rather than sincerely felt, effective users of this strategy stay grounded in genuine values and long-term goals. They may fake the feeling, but they don't fake who they are. This internal consistency guards against the psychological strain that comes from constantly pretending. Machiavelli exemplified this balance. His writings advocate strategic deception, but his underlying goal was effective governance and social order. He played emotional roles tactically, but stayed loyal to his deeper mission. Similarly, fake respect is most effective when tied to objectives you can genuinely defend. Delivering fake respect successfully is a performance, and like any performance, the quality lies in the execution. What sets strategic behavior apart from clumsy manipulation are the subtle cues most overlooked. Vocal tone is one of the most powerful tools. Real respect tends to shift the voice, lower, slower, more deliberate. When you master that modulation, your words carry more weight, even without grand declarations. The same applies to body language. Leaning in slightly, holding steady eye contact, and matching the other person's energy signal attentiveness without having to say much. These nonverbal cues shape perception before a single word is fully processed. The rhythm of your responses also matters. When someone shares something important, jumping in too quickly can feel dismissive, as if their point didn't deserve reflection. A brief pause before replying shows you took it seriously, something most people rarely experience. Language also builds respect. Using someone's name correctly, referring to details from past conversations, and mirroring their preferred vocabulary sends a strong signal: I'm paying attention. These linguistic patterns accumulate, subtly shifting how others perceive your regard for them, and by extension, how much they're willing to give back. Skilled practitioners of strategic respect go one step further. They tailor their performance based on what the other person values most. Some crave intellectual validation, others positional authority, and still others emotional acknowledgement. By learning to read these cues and adjust accordingly, you make the performance feel uniquely real to each person. This tailoring creates the illusion of sincerity not through deception, but through precision. Respect feels genuine when it aligns with the receiver's unspoken expectations, even when it's entirely calculated on your end. Perhaps the most overlooked skill is managing your own emotions during this performance. If you feel contempt or irritation, it often leaks through, whether in a fleeting expression, a sharp tone, or a tense pause. The advanced strategist learns to shelve personal judgments in the moment, focusing only on the goal. This emotional discipline is what separates casual manipulation from professional-level influence. Where the amateur is torn between authenticity and strategy, the professional compartmentalizes, prioritizing results over emotional release in the moment of action. Fake respect isn't just a tactical trick, it's a long-term investment in social capital. The impressions you leave today shape how people respond to you months or even years down the line. People don't forget how you made them feel, and consistent demonstrations of respect, genuine or not, Build a reputation that opens doors. In contrast to more aggressive tactics, strategic respect works quietly but powerfully. It fosters trust, creates alliances, and earns goodwill you can later cash in during moments of need. That's why some people move so smoothly through complex social landscapes. They've built influence not through domination, but through deliberate, strategic dignity. Some people move smoothly through social and professional environments, while others constantly battle relationship friction. The difference often has little to do with raw charisma. More often, it stems from a fundamental shift in mind, treating respect not as an emotional reaction, but as a strategic investment. The compound effect of this approach appears over time. First, people start seeing you as someone who handles disagreement with maturity, making them more open with feedback and more generous with information. Second, your consistent pattern of respectful engagement earns you a reputation that draws recommendations, trust, and invitations to important discussions. Third, and most powerfully, the psychological safety you create encourages others to take chances or make commitments they'd normally withhold. These long-term returns frequently outweigh any short-term gains from blunt force influence. The person who methodically builds a respectful reputation becomes welcome in networks and circles that the aggressive manipulator simply cannot access. But long-term strategy also demands discernment, knowing when respect should be replaced by firmer action. There are people and situations where diplomatic respect only enables harm. When dealing with genuinely destructive individuals or ethical violations, restraint becomes complicity. Strategic minds know when to set boundaries, confront directly, or withdraw entirely. Machiavelli understood this tension perfectly. A prince must imitate the fox and the lion. He wrote, "The fox navigates traps with cunning, the strategic use of respect. The lion relies on strength when cleverness isn't enough." Success demands both instincts. Rely too heavily on one, and you become predictable. The true strategist adapts based on context, knowing when to persuade and when to push. Mastering fake respect isn't just about influence. It reflects a deeper grasp of human nature and the game of social interaction. Machiavelli's core insight wasn't that people should be cruel or deceptive. It was that effectiveness begins with seeing the world as it actually is, not as we wish it to be. Most people treat respect as something you must sincerely feel before you express it. The strategic mind sees respect as a tool, something to deploy thoughtfully in pursuit of larger goals. That doesn't mean real respect doesn't matter. It means waiting around for authentic emotions before treating people well is a luxury you often can't afford if your aim is effectiveness. Strategic respect doesn't make you fake. It makes you functional. It allows you to engage with people whose values or personalities may differ wildly from your own, without compromising your core principles. It's about separating what you perform from who you are. You stay grounded in your long-term objectives while learning to adapt tactically in the moment. And in today's world of curated social personas and digital performance, this distinction matters more than ever. Everyone is performing something. The only question is whether you're doing it with purpose or simply reacting. The person who understands respect as a tool gains a lasting edge over those who perform accidentally or not at all. The final irony, strategic respect often leads to more genuine cooperation than authentic respect ever does. When you give people the exact form of validation they crave, intellectual, personal, or positional, they open up. They soften. They become more capable of collaboration. What begins as tactical performance evolves into real rapport, real trust, and shared wins. Machiavelli would have understood that irony. Sometimes the method that seems least authentic delivers the most authentic outcome. The person who learns to fake respect with precision may ultimately contribute more to harmony, cooperation, and shared success than the one who waits for sincerity to arrive before acting decently. Because in the real world, the winners understand a brutal truth. Respect is the one emotion you must learn to fake not out of dishonesty, but because it works. And maybe the only thing more dangerous than learning how to fake respect is living in a world where everyone else already has.